Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Wednesday, May the 15th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Want to first start off by taking a look to see how the indices closed the session out here for the day. The Dow Jones closed up about 60.5 points. The Nasdaq closed up 9 points, and the S&P 500 closed up 8.5 points. If we take a look at the breadth on the market today, we had 3,473 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex, and we had 2,643 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. So therefore, breadth was in favor of the bulls today, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, seventh day, 8 day, 9 days in a row. That's a joke. But let's go ahead and take a look at the market here, starting off with the SPY daily chart. The SPY closed up 88 cents, up a little over 0.5%, closing at 166.11 and a half here, 166.11. All right. Now, one thing we have to be worried about here, not worried, but one thing we have to be cautious about. If you take a look at the weekly chart, all right, I believe I showed you guys this in the weekend review video. We're right here at this key trend line from this channel, this low. You take this low right here, this low, this high. All right, and we have traveled all this this long distance right here. It doesn't mean that we're gonna, automatically pull back. Just telling you guys to be a little more cautious with your risk. All right, so we still remain in this nice little upward channel. We want to watch this level right here versus today's highs. Today's highs was 166.45. We pulled back a little bit off of today's highs. Had a nice little sell-off actually today. The ES actually hit 1659.75 and pulled all the way back in to 1648 half. All right, so we had a nice little 10-point move or so off the highs, and then we were able to recover that a little bit going into the last 30 minutes, or the last hour of the day. So keep with the trend. Use these short-term moving averages like we've been talking about in the video here as your roadmap. And if we were to get some type of pullback, I would assume that the first level you have to watch for support will be this prior resistance, which is now active support on this side, which lines up with 163 half or so, which also coincides with the rising 8 EMA on this daily chart here. All right. Let's take a look at the triple Qs. The triple Qs, the Nasdaq was lagging a bit today. It was able to recover, believe it or not, all of the action in the last hour. So this thing power rallied all the way from the low, all the way to close back positive, right, just about right back near the highs that it made this morning around 11:15. But you can see here the triple Qs and Nasdaq, they're still leading the way. Ever since we talked about that momentum price channel that I showed you guys in the daily chart, that trade is still working out. So if you're sticking with that trade, sticking with buying those technology stocks, those strong stocks that are heavily weighted into Qs, you should be doing pretty well. Same thing for the Qs, though. Keep these short-term moving averages as your roadmap. You can see we're just cruising higher. I would say grinding higher, but believe it or not, the past couple of days we actually have been getting some good momentum on an intraday basis. So we are cruising higher, but you definitely want to make sure you're cautious of and managing your risk up here if you're buying equities up here. Everybody's waiting to see some type of pullback, but that pullback is not coming. And I think it's going to be when everybody gets real bullish on the market, it's like, I really got to get in, that they're going to pull back the market. I don't think that's we're at that point quite yet. Again, the Nasdaq, or the triple Qs, I should say, has a lot of room to run. It can still run up to 74.83, and then if we break past 74.83, we can run up to 80.29. Remember, we broke the 50% Fibonacci retracement from the tech bubble sell-off back in 2000, which bottomed in 2002. So the next target would be the 61.8% retracement, which is around 82.37, and the triple Qs are currently at 73.67, meaning that the triple Qs, the Nasdaq 100, could go up another $9 with as a measured move target. That doesn't that's still pretty good, because all the other indices are back at highs, or at new highs, I should say. The Russell, the Dow, the S&P, they're all at new highs. All right, and only one lagging right now is the Nasdaq. So therefore, the Nasdaq could play catch up as long as these other indices continue to hang in there and trend higher. So make sure you keep the Nasdaq on watch. Looks like tomorrow we are going to have a 2-day high trigger for a buy signal on the Nasdaq if we break over this 73.75 level on the triple Qs there. So make sure you keep that on watch there. So IWM small cap 2000. The Russell 2000, the Russell 2000 here closed up 20 cents on the IWM, making new all-time highs. Of course, again, we hit a high of 98.67, and we closed at 98.20. So we closed about 47 cents off the highs. Nothing too crazy, but we pulled back a little bit. We still remain above these key short-term moving averages, so just keep those on your radar. Again, everything's trending up right now. The markets has a lot of bullish tone into it right now, and the pullbacks that we do get intraday, the pullbacks that we do get intraday get bought up real quick. So you want to make sure that if you are playing the short side, when we pull back off the highs or something intraday because we're extended, that you make sure you cover and maybe switch back or just cover and then look for whatever setup you're trying to look for. All right, so that's how the IWM is looking. Let's go and take a look at this currency action we've been having in the markets here. A lot of strength in the dollar. Again, we discussed the action in the dollar, showing that the dollar was looking to break out. But one thing that we're seeing is this dollar strength is not putting any pressure on the markets, and it is putting a little bit of pressure on the commodities, but it's not putting any pressure on the general markets, which we used to see before. When the dollar was strong, the market will pull back a bit, and we're not seeing that. So keep an eye on the dollar futures here. They are making new 52-week highs, all right? But one thing that we have to remain cautious about up here on the dollar futures is that we are at this area for a back test, which comes in around this 84.25 level, which we reversed off of today. So we could see a little short-term pullback in the dollar futures. We'll see how that, we'll see how the market reacts off of that now, because now it looks like they're trading together in correlation a bit. So we'll see what's going on there. All right, let's take a look at the euro. The euro's actually been giving you some great opportunities to short it. I'm not sure if any of you guys trade the euro out there, but if you want to trade euro futures, you can look at the /6E contract, and that's been giving some great opportunities on an intraday basis. Let me take off my little channels and stuff here. 1 second. Let's see, high drawings, high channels. All right, so the action that we've been getting in the euro, we're getting some consecutive closes below this key 130 level that we were holding above since the say early April, and now we look like we're in a nice little downtrend, and it looks like a lot of people are running to put money in the dollar. We're not seeing any buying pressure in gold at all. Gold is pretty much a wasted asset right now. If you've been sitting in gold for the past, since last October, you've pretty much been losing money. When everybody was on TV saying buy gold, buy gold, buy gold, they were probably just selling it to you guys out there that were not doing your own analysis, and that were not smart enough to actually see what was actually going on with gold. And again, if you have not watched our YouTube channel, if you've not been to our YouTube channel, you can check it out there, My Wall Street TV. We have over 285 videos, I believe, now, and you can see how we've been tracking the market for the past, 8 months, 9 months or so, via that YouTube channel, My Wall Street TV, and see how we've been maneuvering through the markets and analyzing the markets. So anyways, the gold futures could not break over 1480. They traded in a range between 1480 and 1440 or so. We broke down, and now they're looking like they want to go back down towards the lows. All right, and then we'll see if the buyers come in there and try to, buy that double bottom. Because one thing is that a lot of people did not catch this gold move right here. Why? Because a lot of people did not believe in this gold move or that it was going to last long. They probably were looking for it to roll up a bit and then sell right off. But it actually moved all the way from 1340 all the way back up to 1480. So we're talking about a $140 move there that you could have made some money in. All right, but now that it's rolling over, you have the bears coming back in. But the real test is going to be when they fade it back down a little bit more, which I think is going to be coming in the coming days or the coming weeks, back to this 1340 level. If the 1340 level holds, then that may be an opportunity to trade versus that double bottom low and then look for a move back up and just gauge it like that. But right now in the short term, gold is not where you want to be. The gold miners, they're looking like garbage as well. All the commodities, all the basic material stocks have been coming under some pressure because of that little strength that we're getting in the dollar right now. And the gold miners, gold miners are actually giving you a breakdown setup tomorrow if we break below 27.25 or so. and they look like they have room to go all the way down to 21. Where am I getting that 21 level from? Well, let's take a look at the monthly chart real quick, and you can see, all right, this is nothing but an air pocket right here all the way down to 21 since we broke through this little band of support, which was, support. Now, since we're below it, it acts as resistance. It didn't hold as support right here, and this is an air pocket. So therefore, our next level that we have to watch is down here towards 21. We break towards 21, we could go down, believe it or not, down towards 16. Now, if gold is forecasted to go lower, I assume, all right, that this GDX is going to go lower as well. And there's still some more money in that. If you're looking to get short the GDX, there's still about $6 more in that if it goes lower. I'm not even going to take a look at silver. Silver has not been doing anything. Same thing for copper. Copper has been showing a little bit of strength, but not much. Let's go ahead and jump into some stocks here, starting off with FCX. I want to take a look at this key basic material stock to see how it's been trading. Have not looked at it today. So I want to see what it's doing right now. And it's back above that key 31 level. All right, nothing interesting there. Just rallied up off the lows, pulling back a bit. Let's take a look at Apple, because I know a lot of you guys out there watch Apple, so let's go ahead and take a look at Apple. Apple was down 3.38% today, down $15. We actually called this one out in the trading room for a short at $432 for a short when it broke on an intraday basis, and it gave you a nice little $10 move there. So you want to make sure you go check out that mywallstreettv.com chat room, and to get the credentials for the chat room, you want to go to wallstreettrading.com. So Apple looks like it has some more downside last night in yesterday's after the bell market. In yesterday's after the bell market summary, I talked about watching Apple around the 420 level, and today it hit 422.36, and it was able to reverse up $6. So if you were able to buy somewhere in this little zone that I talked about, you could have actually made a nice little scalp to the long side today as well. But Apple's looking weak. It's not the stock you want to be in. There's other opportunities. I believe money's coming out of Apple and going into Google. All right, the big old Goog, which was up $28.79 today, closed up 3.25%, and looks like it wants to go much higher, as it had some nice volume come in here, and that looks pretty bullish if you ask me, guys. Look at the power trend that's starting to develop in this stock right here. You may not want to buy it right now, or you may just want to establish a small position, because if the market keeps on going up like it looks like it wants to, you may not have a chance to get cheaper prices. At the same time, you don't want to chase, so therefore you're stuck in a position where they kind of force you, well, not force you, but they kind of make you want to chase these prices, and sometimes it may work and sometimes you may get burnt. So you just got to make sure you manage your risk accordingly. So Google strong. I want to take a look at Amazon, because Amazon has been showing some strength ever since it broke above that little 50% downward trend line we had, or the 50% median of the channel we have right there. And you can see it had a little pause day today. May need to consolidate a bit, but make sure you keep an eye on Amazon. I would say this stock over 270 and above this trend line right here could definitely get some action. Make sure you keep an eye on it. We saw some nice strength, nice continuation strength in the financials today. All right, right out the gate, Citigroup, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs actually pulled back a bit after it popped up in the morning, but then they came in and they bought that dip up. But Citigroup, again, looking real clean. A lot of these stocks are trending on their fast-moving averages, showing you that there's momentum in the names. So those are the names that you really want to be trading. The solar stocks have been hot. We traded some solars today. We actually traded SPWR, made a nice little cash flow trade in that, but that actually faded off that key 22 level. But Citigroup, back to the bank. Citigroup looks pretty good. Bank of America, which was up 0.75% today. This one made a nice little move up as well. Nice little continuation follow through. Morgan Stanley, this was one of the stronger ones out there today, along with Citigroup. Morgan Stanley was up, let's see here. Morgan Stanley was up close to 2.5%, making new 52-week highs. Morgan Stanley has not been at these levels since, let's see here. Morgan Stanley has not been at these levels since May of 2011. So we are making some progress in these financial stocks back to the top side. All right, what else do I want to talk about here? Some of the solar stocks are coming back off their highs. This sector has been in play for the past, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks now. All right, or better yet, if you're looking for that investment trade, they've been in place since the start of the year, but the momentum trade has been coming in these names for the past 3 weeks or so. So keep these names on watch. SPWR has this little funky candlestick here, made like a little gravestone doji or a little indecision doji candle, whatever you want to call it. So I would not be a buyer of that up there. This thing has ran from this thing was down here. It started on January the 2nd. This thing was at $6, and now it's at $20.65. That is a crazy, crazy move right there, aka short squeeze. Okay. What else? I had some action in the biotechs. I believe BMY had some news come out today. I saw a lot of traders on the social media talking about BMY. A couple traders out there talking about Ford. So you can see BMY's in play. I know GILD's been in play. You can take a look at Ford. Ford had a nice little move up today as well. Let's see. Ford was up. Come on, this computer's running kind of slow right now. I think it's telling me it's time to wrap it up. The Ford broke out over the highs of 1430, making new all-time highs. Well, not all-time highs, making new 52-week highs. And I think this one has more room to run, believe it or not. This thing could go up towards 16, 17, and then up towards 19. So you want to keep this one on the radar. All right, guys, this one looks pretty good. But aside from that, have a great night. Make sure you go watch that Heat game. And that's about it, folks. Have a good one.